Hi Body Buds, I'm Christy Joe, and I'd like to talk to you about the fact that you're not in food prison. That's one of the first things I hear from people when they start following the Power Foods lifestyle. I know how you feel. You look at that sheet, you see your power proteins, your carbs, your fats, your veggies, and you're going, I'm not seeing Oreos on here. I'm not seeing any kind of animal cookies or anything like that, whatever your thing is. Well, I'm here to tell you, you're not kissing those things goodbye forever, so please don't think that. The goal is that you are sticking to your plans the majority of the time, but that you're learning the power of exchanges as well as the power of simple identification of nutrients. So I'm going to talk through some of these principles that I hope will help you in making informed decisions and changing the way you look at food. So firstly, let's talk about, for my clients and for those who are following the 8-week Power Foods Lifestyle Challenge. Now there's different degrees to which you can be being trained. Those who are very, very intense, a lot of my athletes, I train a lot of marathoners, bodybuilders, CrossFitters, things like that. You are the type, I expect you to follow your meal plan with very little degree of deviance from that. Now, if you're really wanting to change your body and you're on the Power Foods Lifestyle Challenge, I do encourage you to stick to that meal plan, the 7-day meal plan, for as much as possible. Try not to make exchanges every single day. Your body's going to adjust and adapt much better as you are following the same meal plan every day. And then I switch it up on you for the next week, so you can do 7 days, okay? Now with that said, there are some people who they just need the variety. And if you're one of those people, I want to assure you that's okay. Okay, you're still going to get results. You're still going to improve your life, your body, based on these principles. So let's talk them through one at a time. As you look at your meal plan, you're going to have protein at every single meal. So let's say you were assigned chicken at 12 p.m. for meal 3. Does that mean you need to eat chicken every single day? What if one day you're just like, I can't do anymore, I don't want chicken at this meal? Well, the beautiful thing about exchanges is that we have that Power Foods list, which is on the website. Go print it out. Everyone should have one on their fridge. Everyone should take one grocery shopping. You need foods on that list to be around you. So you look at that list and you look at the power proteins and you see there's all these other options. Guess what? You can choose a different one. If you want to swap it out for shrimp, great. If you want to swap it out for some cottage cheese or some protein powder, any of those other proteins, swap it, you're great. Stick to the portion size. If you haven't yet read the Power Foods Lifestyle book, you need to. In chapter 11, I go through the methodology of peak ranges, which means how you pretty much figure out how much you're supposed to be eating. So between this number of grams and this, and then you learn that it's the portion size of your hand, okay? Or you learn that it's a thumb for the fats, or you learn that it's the size of your fist for veggies. But depending on how intensely you want to take this, you may need to understand those numbers a little bit more. So if you haven't read the book yet, you need to. Okay, so you can exchange the protein. Then your next task would be look at, let's say you were assigned rice and you didn't want to eat rice. Then you look at that list and what if whole wheat bread sounds better, or a tortilla or anything like that. Swap it out, great. You do want to look at the content. You would look at your nutrition label and you would see the only number you should care about is the carbohydrates. If it's a power carb food, then all you look at on that label is the carbs. So once again, those peak ranges, you would know that you should be anywhere between 25 and 40 grams of carbs, depending on your lifestyle, depending on your gender, etc. So I would look at my tortillas and I would say, oh, one tortilla, that's 21 grams of carbs. So I could have 1.5, and that's gonna fall in my peak range. Beautiful, you just made that exchange and you've still stuck within your goals. So this becomes a lot easier as you practice. But the first thing is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be afraid of doing it wrong. Okay, I designed this as a lifestyle for a reason, because we should have the ability to make it work in any situation. Let's take, for instance, I had a client who went on a cruise last week and she was very nervous about this. She said, how am I going to follow my meal plan? I said, you don't. You follow Power Foods Lifestyle structure. What does this mean? Well, okay, let's just take, for instance, on a cruise, you're gonna have all sorts of Yummy stuff, right? Everyone loves cruise food. But you're going to look at this array of food and you're going to pick out and say, there's some protein, there's some carbs, there's some fats, there's some veggies, and you're going to use this knowledge of looking at food to create your meal. So this may be deciding that there's some chicken over there, great. Maybe it's not the most perfectly cooked chicken, how we would avoid the oils and bread it and all of that, or even sauces, but it's still protein. So do your best, get your portion size, put it on your plate. Obviously, you're going to want to choose from the assortment of vegetables and get those on your plate too. Then you might look and you might say, well, they have this, this, this. Those are more carbohydrate based. They have this, this, this. Those are more fat based. By the way, if this is confusing to you, what's a carb based and what's a fat based, if you study that Power Foods list, I promise you will quickly soon be able to identify the difference between most foods. It becomes quite apparent which is more carbohydrate based, which is more fat based. So you can do that. Anyone can do that. Okay, so back to this buffet table. Obviously, we want to avoid our desserts, anything with the sugar and extra fat on top of what we're already putting on our plate. And so you just avoid it, or if you don't want to avoid it, take a small piece. Portion control is king in this game. We don't have to be black or white, all or nothing. And unfortunately, that's how society has kind of trained us to be. It's either we're dieting or we're going crazy. We're dieting or we're going crazy. It's time to find the balance between the two. And that's what the Power Foods lifestyle is designed to do. Give you structure in order to balance your meals, but give you those outlets to not be confined to a diet. Okay? So learn the power of exchanges. And as you study the recipes in my recipe book as well, you will see that there are so many different possibilities. And I guarantee that so many of you could create more. And if you do, please send them to me and I'll consider publishing them in future volumes of recipe books. So look at this as a fun challenge, a different way to approach food. This is not food prison. So print out your Power Foods list. Get familiar with those foods, start making exchanges and making wise decisions in going out to eat, in eating at family reunions, in work meetings, places where you don't have control over the food. Should we be carrying Tupperware every day of our lives for the rest of them? No, depends on your goals. If you're preparing for an event or something big, maybe, yeah, that's what you need to do, but should that be forever? No. So you can do this. Be a little bit brave, be okay stepping outside that comfort zone that you've been used to, and learn the power of exchanges. The Power Foods lifestyle was designed for you. So please use it, feel great. Remember, this is about taking it one meal, one workout, one day at a time.